Hello, St. Louis, and welcome to OnSTL.com.
Our segment today is brought to you by Trinkets Tea and Me, 2 blocks south of the Kirkwood train station at 217 South Kirkwood. For the best tea prices with over 80 teas, it's Trinkets Tea and Me.
Some of you know him as Radio Rich, some as Rich Dalton. He always makes me call him Mr. Dalton, but, that's
Yes, that's
Radio Rich.
Mr. Dalton Tea.
Good
Have you
to
brought
have
me
you here
my
today.
coffee?
Here he is.
We're falling back
Here
on old
he
habits
is,
now.
Live and in the flesh, and he's a friend of ours, a dear friend for
From way back.
years ago. Yes, and in the radio biz.
Last heard in broadcast radio on K-Hits middays, but it's been several years now you've been doing KC2.
Also on weekends on KC, I do afternoon, and then I do Seventh Day, which I've been doing for like 12 years.
Forever.
Yes.
Yes.
And nobody does it better, I should say.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Yes.
you very much. Yes.
So tell us about KC2. For those who are not familiar with HD Radio, and I'm afraid there are still a few out
Yes.
there.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about it.
HD radio is digital radio, and it provides for extra channels. So if you have an HD radio, and they're more and more available in cars, you tune in good old KC95. If it is in HD, which it is, there'll be a little light like a stereo light. It'll blink a little bit. When it goes into digital, you can hear it. Boom. And then you push that tuning button. I mean, what I'm getting at
That's
is
the sound.
Did they hire you to make that noise?
No, I mean,
the
you
voice
could-
of the
You the
boom.
voiceover? Yeah.
usually what I say when it goes in, I usually make this.
No.
Oh, you know what? We're on camera.
Yeah, you can do
forget.
that, yeah.
Okay. The music seems to go like this. Zoom. And when it goes into digital, and once it is, you push that tuning button one more time, and KC2 comes on. KC2 is called Classic KC, freeform classic rock. We do radio the way we used to, the way the original KC, playing thousands of songs. I put together the music the way we used to in sets.
Nice.
One song relates to another.
In an internet world rich with Pandora and Spotify, where do you fit in with that? There's no subscription rate, right?
Oh, I can give you a lot of reasons. It's absolutely free.
Mm-hmm.
It is local, and it has a human being there, and it's also music programmed by me, not a computer algorithm.
Yes, thank you.
And that's the big difference. It's like I said,
There's some thought behind it.
it has humanity behind
I
it.
think there's another major difference, and that is the quality of the sound.
Oh yes, you're
Well, that's
exactly right.
Yeah, that's
Remember, where were you through all that?
It is the highest audio quality of any broadcast entity. Certainly better than satellite, which is awful because of the narrow bandwidth that they use. And anything on the internet is a compromise because, it's usually an MP3 or something like that. But on KC2, it's the full Monty. In fact, I go out of my way to get the best. When the Led Zeppelin remasters, man, the minute we got a hold of them, I listened, and not assuming that they're going to be better, but they clearly were, got them right in.
Rich, for those who are just now being introduced to HD, and again, I'm sorry to know that there are probably very many. Walk us through it. Where do you buy an HD receiver? Is it a receiver you buy? Is it a whole system? Is it for your car, your home?
That's another good question, Ron.
Thank you.
Number one, fortunately for HD radio, it's alive and well in cars. Almost all auto manufacturers now either provide it as standard equipment or it's available.
So step one, buy a new car.
Yes.
Can you go to Best Buy or go to I guess that's the only one left. Can you go to
Yeah,
Best Buy and
right.
buy one?
Well,
Target, you could go to
therein lies the
Walmart.
rub. You used to be able to. Now, fortunately for HD radio, it's very available in car audio, whether you buy it, and install it, or you go to buy a new car. But the original HD home radios, cheap converters, tabletops, and cheap receivers for your home, all the original stock have been sold out, and unfortunately the HD manufacturers have been slow to get back into remanufacturing because for a long time the demand hasn't been there. Now it's beginning to happen because of HD in cars. Sooner or later, the demand for home radio is going to get the people back into production, and we'll see a time, I don't have a prediction, but there'll be a time when you won't be able to buy a radio that's not HD. Now, once that happens, all these stations, KC2 will be on the same playing field with all the one stations, much in the same way that on cable.
TV, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you can have giant HBO and you can have,
Sure.
Little
channel
Chuck's
11.
knitting
Except
channel.
the difference is on cable, everything still sucks.
Or
Anyway,
channel
Rich,
10, I should say.
it's always a pleasure seeing
Yes.
you. Thank you for sharing this information with us.
My pleasure, and it was always nice seeing you guys again. Yeah.